Hi everyone, Elite Assassin here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the Halo Infinite gameplay reveal. Now I know it was a week ago, but I did kind of want to take my time, gather my thoughts, and let the dust settle before I really made a video. And I'm glad I did, because there were a few things that came to light after the reveal trailer, some things said by 343, some blogs released, that really helped kind of shape and understand what we were seeing and why it looked the way it did. So I'm glad I waited, didn't rush the reaction video. So here I just want to talk really quickly about things that mattered to me. I know it was a campaign reveal, and as I said in previous videos, I'm a multiplayer guy, so the reveal didn't necessarily grab me as much as it would have if there was some multiplayer footage or the beta release or something like that. So I was still super hyped for it, but not like the extreme hype that maybe some people were. I don't know, maybe I didn't have that big of expectation going in, I guess. Or I had mine maybe tempered a little bit. But the first thing I want to talk about is something 343 released in a blog shortly after the reveal. And this is about the grapple shot and the drop wall, the two pieces of equipment that we saw in the gameplay demo. And that's one thing I want to say. These two are going to be equipment when it comes to multiplayer. So from that, it seems like we won't be spawning with the grapple shot off the bat. It's not going to be a base player trait like a lot of the mobility options were in Halo 5. So the grapple shot, drop wall, and I'm really interested to see what other kinds of equipment they come up with. Are going to bring back, like, hopefully not the flash from Halo 3. Maybe we'll see like the radar jammer come back. And I doubt the bubble shield with the drop wall. That'd be kind of a weird mix, but you never know. The grav lift. There are some fun ones I'd love to see come back and things that I hope will make a comeback. But it's good to know that grapple shot and drop wall are going to be equipment, so though the grapple shot may allow you to get a height advantage, it's not something that's going to break map flow because you have to fight over it. So if people use it, you got to fight for it first. So it doesn't feel that unfair, and I'm really happy with that decision by 343. Also, quick aside, with the grapple shot, I really hope people can make some fun custom game types. Like even myself, I found myself sitting there and thinking about what kinds of game types you can make, and I came up with this really weird 1v7 objective game type where it's kind of like the one person is Spider-Man, who if you can give them like infinite grapple shot, can go around the map, and the team of 7 are like 7 robbers or villains that either have to like plant a bomb or steal a flag and bring it back, and basically it's a one life elimination game type that has different rounds. The Spider-Man rotates, different scoring systems, but it's really quick, just something I'm kind of thinking of on a basic level, but to me that shows me how the grapple shot and the drop wall, because like the villains could have the drop wall, Spider-Man obviously have the grapple shot. And I don't know, just a game type like that could be really fun, something really new, and with Forge, people will be able to make maps for that game type that could be really fun and really interesting. So the ideas already for custom games and multiplayer are already just free-flowing from just this campaign trailer that we got. Another thing I want to talk about that everyone saw was that there was Sprint. Unfortunately, it's back. This is 343's third Halo game, third game with Sprint, and it's something that, again, I feel could be much better with just a faster base move speed for the multiplayer's sake, but oh well. No use crying over something you really can't control. I've enjoyed the Halos with Sprint, so I'm going to enjoy this one probably. Just, obviously a lot of people are probably mad about that, and I understand, but it's something that has to be brought up. One thing I do want to point out too is also that guns seem to have bloom. A lot of my friends and people online noticed. Hopefully that's not the case, but we have to see and actually play the game to really know if it actually has bloom like Halo Reach did, so here's hoping it doesn't. The next thing I want to talk about, something that surprised me, is the amount of weapons we saw in this gameplay reveal. I really truly didn't expect to see, I believe it was like 5 new weapons. Yeah, there's actually 5 weapons. Sorry, I had to count there and see. That amount of weapons in a reveal trailer seems like an awful lot. Now granted, one of the weapons is replacing an existing one, but I don't know, it just really caught me off guard and was really surprising. And I have to say, these new weapons, when it comes to the human weapons, they really didn't do much for me. 343 seems to have this weird modern gun design when it comes to the UNSC weapons that really doesn't inspire that much. But then again, outside of like the AR and the BR, and maybe like the CE pistol, I guess a lot of the human weapons really aren't. I guess I can't say that because one of the most iconic weapons is the rocket launcher, so I'm going to stop myself before I say anything else further. I don't know. I feel like they might be changing designs to change designs, like the rocket launcher in 5 had that weird, I forget what the model's called in 5, but you know, the Spunker rocket launcher is the iconic rocket launcher of Halo, so hope they bring that back. Don't change things just to change it. And that's how I feel about the Bulldog. It's a drum shotty, and it's going to be the only shotgun, I believe. They said it's kind of replaced the basic one, so who knows? We'll see how it plays out. I'm personally, like with the shotgun, I'm not that upset. To me, the Halo shotgun wasn't really that iconic. Maybe some people feel very differently, but I feel it's not that big a deal. The rocket launcher was a much bigger deal in Halo 5. I was not happy about that. But the Bulldog, I don't know, we'll see how it plays, how it feels when we have it. The Covenant and the Brute definitely have some very interesting weapons. You know, the Covenant have the Pulse Carbine, which is a 3-shot burst carbine, and the Brutes have the Ravager, which is a 3-shot burst energy weapon. I'm all about that. I love burst weapons in every game. That's why the BR is probably one of my favorite games to use in first-person shooters in general. I always, go toward the FAMAS in Call of Duty, and any kind of burst gun in those kind of games, whether it be Battlefield, Call of Duty, what have you. So I'm always happy for more burst weapons, and I can't wait to try them. The Ravager seems like it really could do some damage, and design-wise, I really like their designs. The Brutes always had this red, glowy design to the weapons, so the Ravager fits in there. And the Pulse Carbine, I thought, looked pretty cool. The last weapon we saw was the Commando, which again, to me, suffers from the generic modern-day gun syndrome. Maybe that's me being unfair, but that's how I kind of feel at the moment until I see it more and get to actually play with it. But it looks like it's a heavier AR, not quite an LMG. I'll be really interested to see where it fits in the play space, because right now a lot of weapons we saw, with the Bulldog being a medium power weapon, where the shotgun was, the Pulse Carbine maybe being a replacement for the Carbine as like that BR tier pickup. The Ravager looks like it might be a little bit more of a mid-tier power weapon, maybe like the I'm trying to think, like the Brute Shot, maybe that level. So we'll have to see how that plays, but I feel like it might be that level power weapon. And the Commando, I really don't know where it's going to fit. Like, is it going to be more powerful than the AR but slower firing? I really wish I knew what the deal was with it. So we'll have to wait for a hands-on or a 343 explanation as to how this gun works and how it fits in the sandbox with the other weapons. The last thing I wanted to touch on was the graphics. Now, me, personally, I never problem when I was watching the video. I'm not gonna lie, I know sometimes these things are put over YouTube streaming, the bitrate isn't the best, and I really didn't notice a lot of the graphical infidelities until people brought them up. And looking back, yeah, they were pretty bad. But to me, it doesn't really bother me, because it makes it feel like Halo Infinite has the chance to be a very exceptional game when it comes to game reveals. Normally when it comes to E3 and gameplay, teases and trailers and quote-unquote demos that are shown on stage at E3, these games often look way better than the finished product we get because they're polished for E3 to look good, to make that great first impression. Well, it turns out the build we saw was actually several weeks old. Though they didn't give us a very good time frame as to how old it is, but it's not the most current, and they definitely have work to go yet when it comes to look at the game. It was a very rough build, but it was one of the more stable builds they had, which is why they recorded that footage. So that makes sense that, back then it was the most stable build, and that's what I wanted to go with. So Halo Infinite has a chance to be the exception. Instead of a game looking much worse than our first impressions, the finished product might look a lot better than our first impressions. And I get it hurts. We always are told first impressions matter. So having it look not that great as the flagship game for the Series X definitely hurt. Definitely gave some, the console war fanboys reason to flame Xbox a little bit. But to me, it makes it so exciting to see what the game's actually going to look like in its finished state. I really kind of harped on 343 in my, Infinite Possibilities video I released a few weeks ago, and in a very uncharacteristically overly negative video of mine, where I hounded them on things and said stuff like, this isn't a game where 343 gets a pass. Even with COVID, they don't get a pass. Has to release the full game. And I'm still very much on that mindset. But when it comes to graphics, that's one thing 343's never failed on. Halo 4 and Halo 5 look great. They've always, at the end of the day, delivered us a great looking game. And I really think they're going to end up knocking it out of the park come the end of the day. Another thing I wanted to bring up really quickly is the fact that another trailer was released the same day as the 8-minute campaign trailer. It was a kind of a small 1-minute trailer that showed a few more things. That's where the BR still they might have song going around Twitter. That's where that came from, and also showed off the energy sword as well. And if you look, that trailer already shows a better level of polish than the 8-minute one. Specifically, if you look at the Mangler from the 8-minute trailer to the 1-minute trailer, people have done side-by-side comparisons where the Mangler in the 1-minute version is actually much more detailed than the one we got in the 8-minute version. So, they have done work with the graphics. So, I really don't think it's that big a concern in the long run, but at least I think Vapor 3 has heard our concerns. Alright guys, those are my real quick thoughts on the Halo Infinite gameplay that we saw last week. Let me know down in the comments below how you guys felt. What did you like? What did you dislike? Did the graphics really, kill that for you? Were you really emotionally hurt by Sprint being back in Halo? Let me know down in the comments below. I really look forward to reading your guys' comments, and I'll talk to you guys later.